Hello and welcome back to Planet Coaster Harder Mode. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day because things are going very, very well for the park at the moment. We currently have $3,200 and we're making some pretty good money too. The reason for that is actually very simple. I decided to go around and close a bunch of stores. So this Street Fox Coffee is closed. There's a store over here, another Street Fox Coffee that I closed. We closed 2 Chief Beef places. We closed a Hat's Fantastic, and I do believe we closed one other place as well. And as a result, we are no longer paying the staff that would work in those stores and are now saving a lot of money. In fact, we're saving about $1,500. So we're kind of doing okay for ourselves, which is great news because it means that we're now in a position to go ahead and continue expanding this area over here. And if I'm honest, I'd actually really like to do a little bit of terraforming in this area. I know what you're thinking. Terraforming? You haven't done that at all. Yeah, you're right. I would kind of like to fix that, is me plan here. So what I'm going to do is basically bring up some hills back here, just the whole way around this back bit. Apparently very, very slowly, but I want to bring up some hills here so that I can basically create the illusion that there is this sprawling mountain ridge just behind and slightly around this kind of fantasy area. The fantasy area is probably going to be quite small as a result, but I think it could be very, very cool. Now, obviously, this is going to cost me a lot of money to do. This is going to be a thing that we're doing throughout this episode as opposed to just here at the beginning, but I wanted to get a start on it so that you could get an idea of, number one, what this is sort of going to look like, and number two, just how quickly we're actually making money. I mean, I'm spending so much here, but the money just keeps going up, so we're doing all right. But there you go. Immediately, just gives you a little bit of depth in the distance there. We're going to want to make the size of this brush a bit smaller to bring some of these up into some peaks and all that stuff, and we're going to want to do some slopes and all that stuff, but we will get to all of that as time goes by today, because today we're going to be all about that detailing, all about that expansion, and all about that money. Basically, that's the goal of today, to make some serious bank, to get some nice details, and to make this a park that's actually worth being in, because at the moment, it's not bland. I don't want to say it's bland, but it could be better. I've built better in the past, and I'd like to make this park just that little bit better. Alrighty, so what I've done here thus far has taken me a little bit of time, and it's not really done yet, but I think I've put a pretty good dent in the work that needs to be done on this area. I would like to go in and do a little bit of terrain painting just to add a little bit more detail around here. So we're going to go in and do that just a little bit to get some more bits of rock in here and to just change this up a little bit so I can get some grass on some certain parts as well, because I think that'd be really nice. So we'll just go with this kind of different tone of grass there, although that does look a little strange. What if we go in with a different type of rock as well? So go in with that and bring a little bit just along the bottom there. I think that looks nice. Bring a little bit of a different rock through here too, and brighten up the grass on that patch. And then again, just cut off the rock at the bottom there. That looks kind of cool to me. We'll just make this rock here a little bit more noticeable along that front edge. And come down here and just bring the grass in as well, so that it all fades together really nicely. I do really like that rock texture, actually. I think it looks really, really nice. So let's just do a big chunk of it on the front of this hill here, since it's got those big rocks down the bottom. And if we make that brush just a little bit smaller, we can do some rock details around those as well. And I do really, really like how that has turned out there, even though it is just sort of a first pass with the rock texture. That is something I'm gonna want to come back to. That is something I'm gonna want to do more detailing with, and I think I'll either do that between episodes, or maybe I'll throw it into a very quick time lapse in this episode. I don't know, but I am definitely really enjoying how this has sort of turned out here, even though, again, very, very rough first pass at what I'm thinking for the backdrop for this area. I do think it is a decent start though, and I do think it's gonna help sell this fantasy area if you're sort of walking down here and you're seeing these hills in the distance and all that stuff. We do need a few more over here. We need a little bit more detail over here. But what I'd like to do with the money that we have, since we do have so much of it, is number one, make sure, yeah, we have this challenge here, so we're gonna take that because we might as well. But I would like to look into getting some research done. I'd like to get some more family rides in here. So we're going to go for magical moments. We're also going to start researching festive expedition. Now that's going to be the festive, is that the sleigh ride? Probably. Let's look into good family fear. And let's knock the research cost of both of those up to 3,000. And up to 1,500, because we can afford both of them, and because we might as well. And while that's going on, I would like to just have a little look into the park over this way, make sure everything is going okay, which it seems to be. I do think it might be a really good idea to look into some marketing campaigns, because we're not doing any at the moment. So what we'll do is bring in more families, and bring in more... let's see, more adult groups. We'll bring in both of those, have those campaigns automatically renew, and hopefully we're going to see more families coming over this way to have a little look around this fantasy area, which does still need some work. I am thinking it might be time to move the carousel. Despite me really liking it here, I think it's going to be for the best if we get it into this new area over here. So we're going to pick it up, we're going to bring it over here, we're going to place it there for the time being. And it's not going to stay there, don't worry. What I'm thinking is it can actually go in here, possibly. If I move this building along right to the end there, I could probably get the carousel into the middle here. And that might look really nice. It might look terrible, admittedly. It could very well look terrible. But if I go for a little cheeky move of the carousel here, and just give it a little cheeky rotate, it does seem like there is a spot there where it is gonna fit. At least there was one somewhere. There is a spot in there somewhere where this is actually going to work. It's just a case of finding that spot, which is the tricky part. But there was one, and it's right there. So the carousel will fit like that. That doesn't actually look as good as I thought it would. Okay, what if we put the carousel right at the end? What if we get rid of this bit of path, just like that, and we go in, we grab the carousel, And we move it up to the end here. I think that works. I do want to have the, I think the exit for the carousel right there like that. And I think turning off angle snapping might be a good idea as well, so I can get this thing lined up perfectly, which that sort of is. So carousel just there, basically. Just right at the end. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to change the exit path material though, but we'll do that. We'll go to paths. We'll change that to the sort of cobbly thing there. In fact, I might change this whole path to cobble. I think that would look so much better. Just going through here, a little cobble path for the whole thing. Yeah, that definitely looks better. My god, why didn't I do this to begin with? That concrete, like gravel, whatever it was, looked absolutely terrible. Oh man, now we have this really awkward space right here. I don't like it. I'm gonna need to find something to put in there. But the good news is we do have our carousel right here at the end of the street, and I do think it looks pretty cool indeed. That said, I would like to move this building back to where it was originally, which was just like there, pretty much. So just chuck that there, move this little light back inside the building like that. And, well, move the building along just a teensy little bit. Oh, that doesn't work. Never mind, let's just undo all of that. Let's just let's move this building down to about there. And then move the light inside, so we have that. And what can I do with this space in here? I do need another building. And I'm not yet ready to build my own. I could put a fairy tower in there, but I think that's a bit much. What I could do, though, admittedly, is put the fairy tower just back here. Just sort of like that. And that might look really cool, actually. Yeah, that looks awesome back there. I love it. I would like to set it to nighttime, though, just to see if it has any lights on it, which it doesn't. Because what I'd maybe like to do is just hide a little light on this thing. So if we go into lights here, we have this one, which I personally think would look really friggin' cool if we were to sink it into this tower a little bit and just raise it up. So there's a little bit of light cast on that tower from over here. Maybe a little lower, though. I wonder if I could hide it. I wonder if I could hide it so that the light is being cast in certain points here. Like, if I did that. You do just get a little bit of a glow, don't you? And it's not really noticeable, but there's a... Well, it's sort of glowing through the ground as well. Don't know if I like that. What about this? Because this is more of a light that might be on the tower. Or we could go one further. Go into buildings, custom decorations, lights, and get ourselves this. So we do actually have like a torch basket that is on the side of the tower here. That might just be the better idea here. So if I just place that... Oh, that seems a bit bright though. I don't know if I like that. I think I prefer the other light. Hold on a second. This one's not bad. It's, I think, appropriately dim. Let's just rotate this a little bit. And let's just bring it into the wall ever so... No, not that one. Give me the red arrow. Bring it into the wall a little bit. And I think... It coming through the ground is kind of the problem I'm having here. I don't like it coming through the ground like that. I want it to not go through, not the ground. Wow, my camera's moving quickly there. I don't want it to go through. Did I change my camera mode? I did. I don't want it to go through the tower. I kind of want it to just have a glow there. So I guess just doing that is going to give me sort of just an upwards glow. Which I guess is all I'm going to get from that, isn't it? And then maybe if I hide a light back here a little bit, if I have this aligned to surface as well, I can rotate it that way. Then rotate it kind of precisely to shine up in the tower like that. Sort of giving it that, that glow from that side as well. I do think that looks kind of cool. What if I change the color of that glow as well to be something like a mystical color, sort of a mystical blue or something? Yeah. That's a bit of a subtle light, the blues there. That one, not so much. What about purple? I like that one. I do like that a lot. There we go. I think that just gives it a little bit of, no, we'll get rid of that purple, actually. We'll just go for a, we'll go for that blue. It sort of works. And there you go. You sort of have this tower off in the distance. It's being lit up by an orange light at the top, a blue light to the side, and I think it looks really, really cool. I do want to put more stuff back there. I might actually go ahead and very well do the castle passage as well, just because it's kind of cool. Large clock tower really doesn't fit. The castle passage, though, probably would fit, like, back there. If I just sort of chuck it in that spot. Yeah, that actually totally works. Okay, I like it. I really like that, actually. That's also going to need a light, though. So, let's sort of just chuck a light into, onto the back of this hill here. And rotate it around so it sort of shines onto that, that castle a little bit. And maybe rotate it back slightly too, just like that. Yeah, that just gives that castle a little bit of light too, and I really like that. Just a little bit of detail off in the distance with some pre-built buildings, and I really, really do enjoy it. So let's see. Let's go to shops and facilities. Let's search ferry. And what have we not added? I don't think we've added this, have we? No, so that could technically go in here. Do we have this? I don't believe we do. But this seems a little bit too sort of fairy tale village rather than fairy tale town. Which is kind of my problem, to be honest. I don't really want fairy tale village, I want fairy tale town. Right here, right next to the carousel. So the Hats Fantastic shop is probably me best bet. And I guess I could go with one of these and then just change it from Hats Fantastic to literally anything else. Doesn't even have to be a shop, I suppose. I like that idea, actually. I kind of like the idea of taking this building and adapting it. We have this one as well, but it's probably too big. We have this one, which I might actually go for since it's sort of a little bit further away as well. I think we'll start with the Hats Fantastic one, though. Just since it's like the first building you're going to see in your... Why am I rotating this so much? It's the first building you're going to see on your right as you come into this area, so it's not going to be as obvious that it's a clone. So we'll chuck that in. We'll delete the shop, and edit the building, and then delete the shop, and delete that bit too. Then what we can do is take that bit of wall and delete it as well. Clone that one to there. In fact, we could just make toilets here. We could just go the easy route and make this into toilets. That's very, very much a thing we could do, because people always want to take a dump. That's a fact of life. People are just full of it. Full of what, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. Full of it. There we go. We'll just do that. And then I'll just put like an archway over that or something. We'll delete that doorway. We'll obviously delete the Hats Fantastic signs. We'll go and get ourselves a lime plaster archway. I'm also going to just set it to 10 a.m. rather than p.m. We'll go into arches, get ourselves a nice lime plaster arch here, and throw it onto that building, I suppose. I would like to duplicate this as well and bring it across to about there. And I'd also like to duplicate this and bring it across to, I guess there. Sort of. Doesn't really work as well, unfortunately, but we'll do that. Then chuck another one sort of in the middle. And it's obviously a bit of a terrible knockoff, but it'll work. It's another building that you can go into if you want to, but you know, you don't really have to. Let's pop into Windows and see what we have here. We have this one, which is alright, I suppose. We have that one, which is freaking huge. Can I, like, recolor that to match everything else? Because it's not a bad window by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a little bit big. That works, actually. That totally works, and I think this building can be, like, blue. No, the Hat's Fantastic's already kind of blue. Let's go for, like, a sort of pink on this one. I think that'll be kind of nice. So we'll go up, and we want to just... Oh, hold on a minute. Redo that. I want to go up, and I want to select these bits of wall so that they're not going to be that same blue color anymore. And there's plenty of them to select. So select all of those, make them all pink, which totally works. Delete the Hat's Fantastic sign. Let's go and select that window and make it a pink, and then a darker pink, I suppose, which is red. Dark pink. What color is that? Oh yeah, red. Then make the roof of that into, I guess, a sort of desaturated red. That kind of red, I guess. I think that works. Just select those two pieces. Go for that really dark red. I like it. I actually really like it. Then make this bit just like the original kind of pink color in there. That works to me. That actually works to me. I think it looks alright. Get some trees around that, and people are going to love the queue to this ride. And they already do. It's already a 100% scenery rating just because of this one building. But I'm not done yet. So just hold on to your... whatever you're holding on to. There we go. Plenty of detail around this building. Just a bunch of bushes, as it always is. In fact, I would like to get just a couple of these ones back here as well to bring a little bit of that red into that space. I also decided to go ahead and extend that hill just a little bit, adding some more rocks and some plants up there to just make it look a bit taller. And, well, I say make it look a bit taller. It is a little bit taller, which I think is pretty cool indeed. So there we go. That's that a bit taller, which I like. Now I'd like to go into research, and I'd like to reveal these to see what we have. We have the Wendigo, okay. And we have Magic Twirl. Don't mind if I do. That's going to be a nice addition to this space. Let's go to rides. Let's get the Magic Twirl. And this, I think... can actually go sort of over here. And the reason I'm thinking this can go over here is that it's going to be raised up like that. In fact, you know what? We're going to do something a bit different with this one. We're going to go into terrain editing. We're going to go to size. And we're going to raise up the terrain a little bit around here. Just like this. Going to raise it up. Gonna make some hills, some small hills just back here a little bit. Just sort of like that. Just, oh, that's, just clicked something outside of my screen. Gonna make some small hills back here, just sort of like that. Get a little peak on there or something like that. We'll detail that in a bit. That's just sort of a placeholder. What I want to do is go and flatten the surface. So flatten to that. No. Flatten to, foundation. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But like that height. Or a little bit taller. Or a little bit taller. I think that might do. Maybe a little taller. Maybe that height. There we go. So we're going to flatten all that to that foundation. That's fine. I know I messed up my hill. Don't worry about it. We're going to just go ahead and rebuild that anyway. So bring all this up a little bit. Just sort of like this. Bring some hills up the back there a little bit. Make that into a hill again. And this will all be turned into a proper little hill in just a second. But I want to put that ride, the Magic Twirl, I want to put it up on that. Because I think that'll look pretty cool if we have it up on that. So the Magic Twirl is going to go there. And then what I want to do is have the entrance to the Magic Twirl just be there, with the exit just being like there. And that's fine. That's totally fine. We're gonna go into terrain. We're gonna see if we can go ahead and pull up some of the terrain here and pull up a little bit there and just make some slopes and all that stuff. We'll do the same just sort of in here a little bit, and then we'll smooth it all out just like so. So we have sort of got that little slope there, and we have a little slope over here as well. And we're gonna want to connect up the entrance to this, which is going to be fairly similar to, in terms of all the other entrances of this area, and that it's going to be that cobblestone material that I happen to quite like. Gonna bring this slope down like this. As far as we can get it. That's gonna be one heck of a long queue. But that's totally fine. Not too worried about the length of this queue, to be honest. We're gonna actually bring it back a little bit. And it's gonna go like that. That's a long queue. That's a real long queue. But that's okay. We're not too worried about the length of the queue. Unless people really start complaining about it, in which case I will be slightly worried about the length of the queue, but they ain't gonna complain. They don't know what they're complaining about. They think they complain, they get their own way. Nah, that's not how this works. This isn't democracy. And it never will be. Let's see. So we'll do this kind of thing. We'll do stairs. No, we're not. I'm not going to do stairs for the exit because that looks terrible. We're not going to do stairs at all. Bring that to that. No, 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 no. Delete. Has the game crashed? Nope. What the heck is going on with this? Delete that. Got that kind of angle. And slope the thing down a bit. Just like that. And that's not a bad connection. That actually kind of works. And if I cover it up well, then that's going to be fine. So open the ride. There we go. Open the ride. And eventually we'll get people on that. But what I want to do is I want to go into buildings. I want to close you. I want to go into buildings. I want to go into blueprint. And I want to find... I don't know where it is. But I want to find... maybe it's in shops and facilities, actually. Blueprint. This one. The fairy tale themed gulpy shop. And I want to find this. Because it'll work really well with what I want to do with this area. So we're going to do that kind of thing. Then we're going to edit. Because I don't want the gulpy stored in there. And there we go, we have another new area in the fairy tale fantasy themed part of the park. And I'm actually really happy with this one as well. It's obviously not done, there's an empty space in here and there is a bit of detailing still needing done all around here. But I wanted to show you this sort of work in progress version as it sits. And obviously, I mean, 84% on the queue scenery and there's not that many people actually using this ride at the moment, which kind of sucks, but I still really like it. I still think it looks pretty cool up here on its own, and if we get more people into this part of the park, then it's absolutely going to be worth it. Now let's go ahead and start a few new research projects. We're going to go for, I think, another family ride. We're going to go for, let's say, let's get the festive expedition, and let's also get the fast water, and let's put 3,000 into that. Let's do 3,000 into that and 3,000 into that, or 1,500, but that'll do. So get all those research. That's going to cost a lot of money, but it's going to absolutely be worth it for the new family ride. And I think it might also be time to start looking into some transport rides for the park. You know, one that can pick you up just here by the entrance and take you through all of the different zones. I'm also thinking that maybe one day we will have a little path that goes sort of around, not around the park, but you could go into this zone, take a little path through the mountain and into another zone, because there is plenty of space back here for effectively another zone if I wanted there to be. So, yeah, we might very well end up doing that. I mean, this area obviously still needs a lot of detail. It is really nowhere near done. There's a lot of space in the middle still needs filled up, and I don't know what's going to fill that space up in the slightest. But I am really enjoying how this area is looking, and I think what I will do while I'm waiting for the research to be done is I'm going to come in here with just a few more trees and all that stuff, so I can just make this area look that little bit more like it is this sort of overgrown, ridiculously dense forest, which it is supposed to be by all intents and purposes. I do want to be very careful, though, to sort of leave this space where you can see the ride up there. I mean, you can't really see it from here. You can't really see it from here, but I want to make sure you can see it through this gap in the middle. So there is at least a point that you can look through to see the ride itself. That is very, very important. This tree is kind of interesting as well. Let's just throw one of these up here. Maybe back around here or something. Sort of like Sort of like that, maybe. Does that look too much? It does at the minute, but I think I'll be able to make it blend in. Sycamore trees as well. We don't really have any of these in here. And I think it might be a little bit too much of a bright green. So let's just get another giant oak tree in here or something. Let's see. Let's just get another giant oak tree sort of there. Sort of like that, I think. That looks alright. And I think some plants down this way will be a pretty good way to go ahead and just make this area look like it is really, really dense with trees and all that stuff. But there is still the gap that I was talking about, which is, like I said, very, very important to have. So let's just get as many of these plants in, like all of this, and just a little one over there as well. That's actually coming along real nicely. I think a couple of rocks in there might be an idea as well. Getting some of these larger rocks like this, getting some of the smaller rocks coming off of the front of them. We'll go for another large rock sort of back there with another large rock sticking out of the front of it, and maybe to the side a little bit too. So sort of like that. And let's see, what else can we do with this? Obviously going to get some of these more scraggly looking bushes with one of these just behind it as well. And I think that looks okay. I really do. I really think that looks kind of awesome up on that hill. Looks really, really cool. Let's go ahead and reveal this research. What have we got? We have the Hyperspin Family Ride. We have 2 more coming in just here. We have got the Rolling River Track Ride and the Sleigh Ride. Not bad. Not bad at all. We have the Carousel into the Sky as well coming up. We are a little bit low on money there, but that's going to be expected considering what we just did in terms of research. Money should recover, I reckon. I mean, it's interesting that it isn't recovering quickly considering there was a while there we were consistently making thousands upon thousands of dollars. It's actually very strange that money isn't managing to recover immediately, but we might be seeing it just start to take off there, which I think it might very well be doing. No, it's actually it's doing the thing it does where it hovers around a certain low price. I wonder if we have a bunch of rides, but is this broken down currently? No. That is very strange. That is very, very strange indeed. I think it's just about starting to recover now though, so that's completely fine by me. Let's have ourselves a little look at coasters then. If we look at all, we have the Grenle, I think is, yeah, the fantasy looking one. This is actually very tempting. The Grenle, very tempting indeed. Because I could, if I had the money, which I don't, because it's $6,500. I could probably find somewhere to add this. Like, I could probably get this coaster into that area there. You know, just sort of going over everything we have. You can get a nice view. We are actually out of money. That's ridiculous. I honestly don't understand why. This is going to need to be raised up a bit, though, unfortunately. But, I mean, I could, by all means, sort of just chuck this coaster into a space a bit like that. I reckon. And I do think it would be really cool in there. Maybe a few too many supports for my liking, but I think that would be a really cool space for a coaster. Because it is going to cross over the entrance to this area. It's going to create a nice couple of spires for this area as well. And I really want to do that. I just don't know if I want to take a loan to do it. I don't know if that's a good idea. But gosh darn it, I'm going to take... Why am I losing so much money? Jesus. My rides just aren't making money. That seems to be the situation here. My rides are not making money anymore. Which is weird. That's really, really weird. Let's take a $10,000 loan. Let's do it. I didn't think I'd need to at this point, but let's take a $10,000 loan. There we go. And let's pause the game whilst we go ahead and sort this new coaster, the Grenle. So it is going to go like there, basically. And I need to get that so it is actually at the right height. Can I hit X to place this? Yes, I can. Beautiful stuff. So that needs to be like that height. Then we move this across a little bit, and we move it this way a little bit. And I can place it just there. Just like that. Goes around a tree. That actually works really nicely with that tree. That's kind of surprising, actually. But I like it. I really, really like the positioning and the design of this coaster. I think it really works well. So, place it. There we go. Build the Grenle. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I would apologize, but at this point I do it so frequently, I don't think anyone's remotely surprised. Let's see. Can I get this to be the right height? I totally can. In fact, give me that height instead. So that we have it, you know, flattened to sort of the recommended height for this coaster, which is about there. We'll bring this land out a little bit here. And then I want to just go ahead and smooth all of that down. Bring the intensity up a little bit so I can smooth this out really nicely. And I'm going to spend a lot of money doing that, apparently. Bring the size of this brush up a little bit so we can just smooth this out all that bit better. Is that all right? Still a bit of a weird slope, if we're honest, but I think I can make it work. Let's just smooth out this area a little bit too. And let's see what we're going to do. So, the entrance is going to be there. The exit is going to be there. We're going to connect up the entrance, which is going to be made of this red brick, because that red brick is very fancy. Very fancy. Going to bring that down as a staircase. Then we're going to take it this way and along a little bit. So that's going to come over this way. And then I want to connect the exit, because I think that might be a good idea. And we're going to do the exit out of a similar kind of red brick thing we have going on here. Except the exit's going to stay raised up a little bit, just until we get to here, and then decide to drop it down. Except the exit's also going to not be dropped down as a... The exit's going to be dropping down as a slope rather than a staircase, because apparently that's the way the exit's going to roll. And I think I might actually keep the railing on this as well. I'm not really sure why, but I think the railing on this actually looks better. It's probably to do with the fact that it is on a slope, I suppose. Yeah, that actually looks kind of cool. Let's see. Give me the queue for this. The queue for this is actually going to have to be quite lengthy. So maybe what we do... No, not that. We bring... delete that bit. Bring this all the way down to the main pathway. And that actually looks kind of cool. I like that a lot. Let's get the entrance and exit archways then, because I kind of have an idea for this. If we go to sort of blueprints and miscellaneous buildings, or is it C? No, it's buildings. I'm looking for buildings. All buildings. No, it's not that. It's all of these. We're looking for park entrances. So this thing's kind of cool. That thing's also really expensive. So, we ain't gonna be going for that one. We're also probably not going for the festive one either. I don't think I can really afford any of those. That's fine. I kind of just wanted to get myself a little, like, ticket booth or something. But there isn't one. So, let's just try and make something real quick. We'll go to custom. We'll go to walls. Get ourselves something made out of a little bit of lime plaster, I think. So we'll do that kind of thing. And what way is that? That's just on the outside like that. That really shouldn't be actually. Hold on. Do it so it's like the inside block there. Rotate it that way as well. And have it be the inside block. Then adjust these so it's nice and, well, fairly central. I guess that's close enough. And if we go for a quick little... Oh, that's not really going to work. Interesting. Okay, what we're going to do instead is we're going to make 2 buildings. Except they're just going to be identical. Except for one little component, which is going to be a sign. So we'll do this. And what I want to do is put a roof up on that. So just give me like a basic pitched roof or something. This one's actually kind of perfect. It's very, very tall for what this little building is. But I actually really enjoy that. I'm also realizing I don't need to use an actual building here. Or those actual wall pieces, because I can just do that. Even though it looks a little bit ridiculous with the bit coming through it. But what I wanted to do was basically go to this building, edit it, hold on, edit the building, get myself a wall sign, give me a miscellaneous sign. And I want to see if I can get like an arrow, but a small one. Or I guess that one. That's a little bit unnecessarily big, is my concern. It's a little bit tall, if anything. Is there like a small arrow? That'll be a no. Oh man, is there like a small one? Doesn't really seem like it. I could, I guess, go with some small ovals as like the symbols. Because what I want to do is make this one just like red. So it's like, hey, don't go in here. So this is going to be out, I guess. Text color, it's going to have like a black border on it. Or that, it's going to have like white text with a black border. And then the font can just be something like that. Although it should probably say something more like exit, because out sounds slightly threatening. So that's going to be like exit. And that's fine. The sign is its own thing, apparently. Let's just duplicate that. And put it there. And we'll change this so it's a green sign. But a very green sign. Just like that. Can I get entrance on this, or is that too big? E-N-T-R-A-N-C-E. Entrance. That looks a bit silly. In. Enter. That'll do. What about a small R? No, that looks even worse. Enter. There we go. That's gonna have to do. But that's me 2 buildings for that ride. They look a bit naff, but I like it. Does the job, I suppose. If we go to scenery, I don't think do I have any animatronics? Animatronics. I have got some fantasy. Like, I've got some, like, jesters. And I guess a knight guarding here looks kind of cool. Yeah. Let's get a knight guarding that. We'll get, like, an archer over here that's going to be, like, shooting off into the distance a little bit. So he's going to be, like, sunken into this. Just, like, there. So yeah, he's going to be shooting off that way, which I think will be pretty cool. There we go. Is there anything he can shoot at? A dragon. He could be shooting at a dragon. Oh my god, we could put a dragon in here. I can have a sleeping dragon hidden somewhere. Oh my god. I didn't think about this. Oh man, I might need to do that at some point. We've got a few things around here. We've got the witch's house as well. Have we used this? That's not that thing over there, is it? No, that's custom built. We need to use the witch's house as well. There's a lot of things we need to use. I wonder, can I get away with like putting the witch flying up here? How ridiculous. Oh, hold on a minute. I know where she can be. She can be going around this. That's going to look hilariously ridiculous. But she is going to be there. And we'll sink her down a little bit. So she's going to be flying around that building. So if we just run the simulation. Yeah, there you go. That looks ridiculous and I love it. The archer is firing off that way, which is pretty cool. We have the knight over this way who is going to be guarding, doing his thing. And we need to test this coaster. So let's run a test on it. Let's get in the ride camera and see what this is all about. So away we go. It's gonna take us up this way, which I appreciate. Oh man, this is actually a really cool ride. And it just drops you down like so. Into the tower. Down around this way, through the tower again. Bit of a drop. Over the top of the station. Might put another archer up there. Oh man, that track above is real low. That would make me all sorts of kind of nervous, to be honest. Can't say I'd be a huge fan of that. But yeah, that is just a nice, simple, relaxing coaster. Obviously, more of a family coaster. But I like it. I do. I really, really do like it. It's not going to be the most exciting, I imagine, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. So we'll get that opened. And I think I would like to go to scenery. I would like to get myself another knight, perhaps guarding up here. So as you come through, you're going to see a knight sort of stood there. He's going to be looking at you. He's going to be judging you. He might be asleep a little bit. You don't know. He could be. He could very well be asleep. We'll go ahead and put an archer just sort of there. Does he shoot to the left as well? No, he gets his arrow. Are they firing at the same time? Yeah, they are. Hold on. Don't know if I'm a fan of that, to be honest. But I don't think I can. I don't think I can really change that. Activate on trigger. I could set these up to be activated by triggers. That is very true, but I don't think there's too much point in that. I think what I will end up doing, though, is I will do a little bit of terraforming around this coaster and put some trees around this coaster as well at some point in the not too distant future. But I am curious to see, are people going to be queuing up to use this coaster? There's like 1% of people that are like, yeah, I want to go on this, and everyone else is like, there we go. There's some people getting on the coaster. That is what I want to see. Hopefully we're going to see more people like that. Hopefully we're going to see more people that are like, yeah, let's go on the coaster. New coaster. It's going to be excellent. One guy was on it. Okay. Fair enough. They're just currently waiting to head out of the station there. Couple more people coming in by the looks of it, which is excellent stuff. So yeah, hopefully that's gonna bring more families to the park and get more families spending money on the roller coaster here. Currently, the cheapest thing in the park, monthly running costs are there. Potential monthly income is not much, but that'll go up as more people are interested in the coaster and as I also decide to decorate the coaster's queue. But I'm not going to be doing that at the moment, ladies and gents. I am going to be saving that for the next episode. So for the time being, thank you again for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. Don't forget to share it on social media. That would be absolutely wonderful. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.